Welcome to Cyber Culture Interface. My name is Olali Kalori. I'm here again to talk about cybersecurity project for your resume. Projects that you can put on your cybersecurity resume for you to get a step into the industry, for you to get a step into the door. And we've talked about network traffic assessment using Wireshark. We've talked about network vulnerability scanning using Nessus. Today we are going to look at network port scanning project using NMAP. NMAP is a very versatile tool, a very popular tool used for port scanning. And so we are conducting a port scanning project today. If this is the first time of joining this channel or watching our video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let it go viral. Let people know about this so that we can do more videos by the time as we grow bigger. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. So looking at network port scanning as a project, network port scanning is like checking the doors. It's like you are checking for what is open. A port in a computer or in a network, like we talked about when we in our videos, in the earlier videos where we talked about network fundamentals, we talk about OSI layers, and we talk about session, opening ports as a place, as a way of communicating, establishing a connection between two devices. So it's like opening doors. So when you're scanning, conducting a port scan, what you are looking for are open doors. You are looking for ports, on a computer network, just like a burglar trying different doors or checking windows, checking the doors to break in. A hacker to also make use of port scanning to look for vulnerable points to attack. So basically, in a network or in a computer, you are looking for ports that are left open, ports running certain services. Ports are meant to run services. It could be, for instance, a port is open for a web application to be running, or a port is open for a file transfer to take place. So sometimes these ports are left open and unattended to. So a port scan reveals the ports that are open and nothing is going on behind it, and it gives you the kind of services that are running behind each of these ports too. So these services exposed. When you run a port scan, you can check which services are there and the exposure and the vulnerabilities that are found there. So the basic fundamental things you need to do before you conduct this project, before you go ahead with this project, is to get familiar with the OSI layers. We have 7 of them, like we mentioned. You can go back and watch our video on network fundamentals. You need to get familiar with total number of ports in the computer. We have about 65,000 plus ports. You need to know the common ports, the popular ports that are used for common services. You need to check for the ports that are not common. You need to check for ports that are open. You are checking for services that are running. So when you are conducting the port scan as a project, these are the basic things you are looking out for, and you should have understanding the kind of services that run on this port. So another thing you need to understand with port scanning is that it is performed, or you have to perform this on system and networks that you have an authorization for. Be mindful of legal and ethical consideration, because if you don't have an authorization, you can be sued, you can be held liable for infringement on confidentiality or the integrity of assets that people have on the network. So please, this is why I'm going to be running this port on a controlled environment, which is your virtual machine. So NMAP is a versatile tool which you are using. NMAP is a tool we're using for this port scanning project, and NMAP is a versatile tool with many advanced features. So it also has basic features which makes it easy for a beginner in cybersecurity to make use of NMAP for this project. For a simple port scanning project, you can use NMAP effectively by starting with basic scans, and gradually you can move into advanced, features of the NMAP. So NMAP is a tool that can be used by both beginners and advanced cybersecurity professionals. So what are we doing, or what are the things? There are 9 things you're going to be considering, for this project. The first thing you need to do is to obtain your NMAP tool itself. So NMAP is an open source and can be obtained from its official website. This is www.nmap.org. So you can go to this website, you can download. I'm going to provide a link to the website also in the description. So the different versions are available. You have the Windows, you have the Linux, you can have it in Mac OS. So you download and install the appropriate version. If you are using a Kali Linux, most likely the NMAP will come pre-installed on your Kali Linux. So you need to check it, and if it's not installed, you need to check and install it. The second thing you need to do is to define the project scope. So here you are identifying what you want to do. Identify a target network or it's a system you want to scan, and you specify the objectives of your scan. Your objective might be to identify ports, open ports and services. So make sure you have a scope for the project. The next thing you to do is to look for the tools and resources that you need. So you are going to be making use of tools like NMAP scripting engine and documenting tools. So NMAP, has a scripting engine that allows you to automate some tasks and customize your scan. So this is what NMAP NSC is called. NSC is the NMAP scripting engine. So this have particular powerful script for different automations, for different things. Another tool you need to get of us is documentation tool. Here you are making use of Cherry Tree app. I mentioned it in other videos. Your Cherry Tree app is for documenting. You can screenshot and put notes down with your Cherry Tree app. So you need to get familiar also with NMAP's documentation. Read information about your NMAP. This is another tool you need to use. Your documentation. NMAP gives you different help and guides on how to make use of it too. Next thing you do after that is set up your environment. So your environment, it has to be virtual machine. Remember, you want to conduct your scanning in a controlled environment. You don't want to interfere or infringe on anybody's confidentiality. So you set up your VMware or your Oracle VirtualBox and conduct your tests safely. And your environment has to stable. It needs to be a stable network, connection where you can access it. So when you are conducting your tests in a virtual machine or in a virtual environment, there is no issue with network. Your scans on a remote network. If you are scanning, you are using a remote network, make sure you have the permissions and authorization that is necessary. After setting up your environment, the next thing is to launch your port scan, and by doing this, you open the command prompt on your terminal, your system. Like you see, you can run your NMAP-H and see all the functions. You can conduct basic scan, NMAP-P, conduct different scan. Use NMAP command, followed by your target IP and the host name, and the target address. You specify the various options. NMAP has different options you can make use of. So you customize your scan. For example, you can use your iPhone F to conduct a fast scan. You can use iPhone P to conduct a scan on all the ports. So there are different things. You can specify port ranges. You can use NMAP script to also perform advanced tasks, such as you want to scan for versions of operating system running on your target machine, which is you can conduct an OS, operating system fingerprinting, and several other, kind of port scans can be conducted using your NMAP. The next thing after doing that is you interpret the results. So when you have scanned, the NMAP will display the results in your terminal. Sometimes you can also save the results, in a file, depending on the kind of OS you're using or how you want it. So you can the result of your NMAP scan is displayed in your terminal. And so you will list the ports will be listed. The ports that are open will be listed. You will see the service running, and any other additional information that you specified in your scan. Then you can analyze the results then and identify potential vulnerabilities and security issues. For instance, you can find that a port is open and an FTP service is running. So you need to check the service. You can go online and now check what kind of FTP service is running, what are the vulnerabilities associated with those service. So you can interpret these results and then go to the next day, you document it. So whatever you found out, make sure you document it. Like I mentioned, you can use Cherry Tree app, you can document it on your GitHub, you can use your Google Suite, you can document it, but make sure you document. And whenever you document, you can report it. And in this case, you are just conducting it for the purpose of your cybersecurity resume. So when you document it, in case you come across an interview and you tell them you are able to use NMAP, you are able to send the link, to wherever you store or you have documented your project, and they can actually see what you have done, and then further questions can be asked based on your project. So details of the open ports and services, you can outline the scan objectives, the method used, and the results you got in your documents and your reporting. Next is to carry out remediation and follow up. So when you find out some vulnerabilities, for instance, if you find out that the FTP service or the FTP service or the running on the particular port is outdated, you can conduct an update that is remediating. So if you find out that the port is open, you can make sure that the port is locked up, and after remediation you can conduct a scan again to make sure that all the remediation you effected has taken place. And finally, update your CV. So this is a sample of a CV where you can use. This is how you can put it. You can say you assisted, configuration of IT optimization tools within virtualization environments, and you perform vulnerability scan. You can say you installed, task perform including installing and configuring of NMAP tool to perform vulnerability scan. You utilize the NSC and NMAP scripting engine scripts such as you mentioned the script engine you use to identify virtual host, and then update your CV. Basically, update your CV. So these are the 9 things you need to do, when you conduct your port scan, and you need to do the 1 to 8 first before you update your CV. So NMAP scan is a very versatile. NMAP is a very versatile tool, and you conduct an NMAP scan, which is a project that you can update on your CV. Like, share, and subscribe. We are going to be talking more about this project. We are going to be doing other videos that will specifically display and take you step by step through all these projects. So see you in the next video where we'll talk about another project for your cybersecurity resume. Thank you. Please like, once again, share and subscribe. Like and share this video. Thank you.